Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
What's up, everybody? I'm Michael.
This is Cleve.
And welcome to an exciting episode of Friendship. One of the podcasts that dares to ask, who's your favorite Muppet?
I have a favorite Muppet. Do you have a favorite Muppet?
I do.
I think it's weird that I have a favorite Muppet and not a favorite animal. I've talked to you about this before, though. But, it's wild to me that, how do I not have a favorite animal? I don't have a favorite lot of things, but I have a favorite Muppet, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Muppets we build a connection with at a young age. Kind of lock it in.
Yeah, not animals?
I have a favorite animal. I'm just trying to justify your quirk you got going on there. But I think my favorite Muppets now is significantly different than my favorite Muppet before when I was a kid. As a kid, animal, hands down, favorite Muppet.
I think mine might have changed as well.
Now, would you like me to tell you, or I didn't know if this was...
You can tell me, yeah.
Statler and Waldorf, but I'm old and cynical. I like the old and cynical Muppets.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
So today's episode, I decided. So Jim Henson's birthday is September 24th, 1936. He passed away May 16th, 1990. Was amazing at what he did. I had decided that there was a website that was like, "Oh, here's the top," but those always irritate us, and it's always Kermit.
Time.
Number one's always Kermit. So I decided, bump that. I'm gonna make my top 10, and I'm just gonna tell you what they are.
Hell yeah! Where's Sam Eagle on that bitch?
Honorable mention.
No.
I do actually have honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So I looked over everything this motherfucker was involved in. Honorable mentions: Big Bird,
100%.
Just kind of a guy.
You know that he was actually the first puppeteer for Big Bird, but the director was like, "You don't look enough. You don't walk like a bird." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so they picked the other person that did
this guy over here got a great bird walk.
Mind you, Jim Henson created this idea, but it's fine.
Snuffleupagus.
Snuffy.
Just because it's just great to say. Cookie Monster. I'm not the biggest Cookie Monster fan, but he's an iconic guy.
Yes.
Miss Piggy, also iconic. Fozzie Bear, who I think he's an honorable mention because I didn't grow to appreciate him until I got older.
Yeah, fair.
When I was younger, I was like, the jokes aren't hitting, but when I got older, I'm like, oh, okay, that's the point. The Swedish Chef, because I love the Swedish Chef so much. So the list got to be tight. I'm cutting the Swedish Chef. And then Yoda, who he did not create, but he was like a consultant on.
Oh, interesting.
And apparently, his mannerisms and the way he moved, they consulted Jim Henson for.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. At the time, he until death, he probably was an expert in the matter.
He was actually designed by a man named Stuart Freeborn.
Ooh, Stuart Freeborn. Okay.
Yeah. Number 10. Sweetums.
God, she is so good. She.
Isn't it she?
I believe so.
Sure. Large hairy ogre, like a bulldog type of jaw and thick eyebrows. Fun fact: the first appearance was from the Frog Prince TV special in 1971. Just a big silly Muppet. Stomps around, deep voice.
Big old silly Muppet.
Just a big old silly Muppet, and I love it. Makes me happy. Brings me joy. A lot of these bring me joy. Not number 9. Number 9 is, I'm gonna put this in a group. It's the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah.
Those reptile, bird, dragon-ish things. terrifying.
Yes, that part of the reason I
um,
didn't like the Dark Crystal.
but amazing at the same time that these are designs that this guy has.
I
The fact,
apologize. Sweetums is male. My bad.
um, the fact that I could be scared of a Muppet, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Oh,
You've made
100%.
an impressive thing. What is this foam? Terrifying. um, yeah, just gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
Number 8, Hoggle from the Labyrinth, the dwarf. Ugly little dwarf.
Great. I just didn't like the movie. I was like,
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I've seen it, but yeah, I don't.
yeah, it was a long time too. I like played with stuff as I was making a list, like reminding myself, refreshing
Yeah.
myself. I would think it. I almost see it as I put the movie at number 8, and then this Muppet great arc. You know,
Mm-hmm.
being like a jerk, like a footstool, like uh, scared of the Goblin King, and then stands up to him for his friend. Ugly little son of a gun too, but gets my respect. Number 7 is going to be a little bit deeper of a cut for you. Marjorie the trash heap from the Fraggle Rock.
I loved Fraggle Rock. I kind of don't remember Margle the.
It's a
Trash?
sentient compost heap of trash.
Okay.
Um, they call her the All Knowing. She's made of, like, they say, orange peels and coffee grinds and wisdom. She's like an oracle for the Fraggles.
Fuck yeah, I'm on board.
But it's just the design of it, because like it lays flat, and then when they go to talk to him, like it like raises up out of the ground, and it's got these like little old lady glasses on her, and yeah, it's just a fucking. You made a Muppet that's just trash, and it's fantastic.
Fraggle Rock, I think, is one of the first ever, if not the first, TV show on HBO.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know it was like one of his babies, like one of his closer
Yeah.
babies. Also, I watched the first episode of that again, just kind of refresh
Mhm.
myself and make sure that I was picking who I wanted to pick. And what they were able to do with the camera and perspective,
Mhm.
because they had those like big, like I don't want to call them ogres, but something along those lines. And they were trying to catch Fraggles, and I'm
Yeah.
like, the puppetry here is just phenomenal. Everything they're doing here is great.
Then they had the Doozers, which were smaller than them, and it was like this whole incept. Yeah.
Um, yeah, those also amazing. Riding little bikes and shit.
Yeah.
Um, number 6, Elmo.
Okay.
I don't need to describe
How
a
do you
lot.
not give props to Elmo? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Elmo can like do kind of more of adultish things,
Okay.
like uh, where they're at and different scenes and stuff. But also, I like that everyone feels more kiddish with Elmo. You know what I mean? Like adults, like really. Besides Larry David, everybody puts their guard down with Elmo.
Yeah, I think he's been around so long and connected with so many kids that, like, even as an adult, if you were to meet Elmo, like, you would feel like a kid again.
Yeah,
Get the
and the
comfort.
the rivalry of that fucking Rock, hilarious.
God damn Rocco. Abby doesn't understand how terrible Rocco really is.
Do you want to tell us real quick?
My daughter was a big fan of Abby Cadabby,
hmm
and so she didn't understand that Rocco was just the worst.
I think it's what got him to number 6. Number 5 is Oscar the Grouch.
He's
He-
just so solid.
he's just kind of a vibe.
He's
Like,
just the best. As you grow older too.
yeah, who doesn't want to feel like, "Ah, no. Scram, get out of here." Um, also, not a lot of Muppets are allowed to just have that kind of attitude on them.
Accurate.
So I appreciate ones that do.
Especially in a kid's show like Sesame Street.
Yeah. Number 4.
Hmm.
It's a good Yoda. I think we'll go with Kermit. Kermit's number 4. He's just kind of the everyman, you know. He's the straight guy. But also, I still find myself enjoying him. He kind of gives me a bit of like Bob Belcher vibes, a bit. Like everything's kind of going on around him, and he's like,
He just exists in the world.
Yeah.
Kind of deal with it as it comes.
Or like when someone says something, to him, and he's like, "Mm." I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. Okay.
He does have some facial
Yeah.
expressions that exist within what I would almost consider like a real basic facial feature for like
Yes.
a Muppet. There's not much to it. It looks
Like
like a
like
hand.
when they like
Yeah.
ball their fists up, and he
There's-
kind of like.
Yeah, they do really well with the puppetry on that one.
Also, Rainbow Connection is
So good.
just phenomenal. And they also said that, I don't know if you knew this, that Kermit is the most like Jim Henson, like personality wise.
Okay. I mean, then that makes sense to make him the forefront of it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's who he. I mean, he did a lot of people, but that's who he was for most of the time.
Did any of
number
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem make it? Guess we'll find out. Never mind. Number 3.
number 3 is Animal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's technically a part
Um,
of that. So
Yeah,
alright.
yeah, the hardcore drummer, a real spirit animal
Yeah.
type of character.
He's good.
Yeah, simple and aggressive. He like gets a lot of funny scenes.
A lot of physical comedy, which
Yeah,
would be appealing.
always on 11, which is fun. I didn't have everybody's, but his first appearance was in 1975 for the pilot episode of the Muppets Sex and Violence, which I didn't think that you would let me call that show that. He's chained in a basement, and he's not allowed on stage until Electric Mayhem performs, which I think is kind of funny. He became like more of a lead character in the Muppets, and then they like the chains off of him. That's why sometimes chains. And once they took the chains on him, they said that he became more popular with children. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure, because you made him seem like a scary monster,
Right.
and then and now he's not. He can be around people. But yeah, I'm an animal guy. Only a little bit though, because he's number 3.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the summary of Sex and Violence, the Muppets. So.
Oh yeah, please tell me.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we need all that.
In this half-hour variety special, the Muppets parody the proliferation of sex and violence on television.
Oh.
Nigel, Sam the Eagle, and hippie bassist Floyd Pepper prepare for a pageant based on the 7 deadly sins.
Oh.
They had a wrestling match at one point.
Do we have Muppets for the 7 deadly sins?
It doesn't look like it. The Swedish Chef was there.
As he should be.
Electric Mayhem sang a song called Love You to Death.
Okay.
There was some tarantula-like monsters talking a bunch of gibberish.
Okay.
They did a film review of Return to Beneath the Planet of the Pigs.
Well, we really went for it on this episode.
And then there was a 7 Deadly Pigs sin pageant.
That was only 1975.
Yeah, that's the. Oh, that's some. There were Muppets for the 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh my! How do they look? Please describe. Terrifying.
That'll be the It'll actually be the
thumbnail.
The thumbnail for this episode. So you don't worry, you guys have seen it already.
Fantastic!
Holy shit! All right, yeah, that exists in my life now.
Number 2, some people might call cheating, but I would probably say it's my list. So you can go fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough. Rolling Stones has shitty lists, so
I'm saying
you want on your list.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles '90s costumes.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that technically they were puppets, and I think he
And they
also
were him.
he were. I would say they were him as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they look
So
phenomenal.
good
Still,
to this day.
still look good.
There's
Even
a couple
like
scenes that are,
yeah,
but
well, even like the people who are like, here's the head from the movie, like the original one, like they still look. They all torn up and stuff, but they still look good.
100%.
The design is great. They are like, to me, like a standard. Like if you can't make your thing look like this, what are we doing?
Hopefully, he wasn't involved in their tour, their rock and roll tour. Those
Well,
were
I can't
rough.
imagine because he didn't do 3 either.
Oh man. Well,
That's
that
why they
wasn't
look
the
so
only issue with
different.
3, though.
That's why they look so different. He
Yeah.
did 1 and 2. He was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah, they look exactly like you imagine they would. And number 1, and I really fought on why this is number 1 for me, but he is. I don't know if you want to take a swing at it.
Not Sam the Eagle.
It's not San Diego.
I'm gonna say. Feel like you connected with Gonzo and his love for chickens.
I did not connect with Gacho.
Is
That
it Pepe
feels.
the shrimp?
It is
He
Pepe the
fucking
King
cracks me
Prawn.
up. He
He's a
cracks me up
king
so much.
prawn, sir.
Oh, my
He's not a
apologies.
shrimp.
My apologies. He fucking cracks me up. And all the movie adaptations that they do, I always love his character almost the most.
So fucking. And you know what? As I was like, why? Because I wrote down everyone that I liked,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, let's trim the list down, and we'll find top 10. He ended up at number 1, relatively easy, and I was like, I think I'm just kind of him, like, like the way he acts, his attitudes and stuff. His full name, I don't know if you knew this, Pepino Rodrigo Serrano Gonzalez.
Oh, okay.
He is from Spain. He gets upset if you call him a shrimp.
Yeah, my apologies. I didn't mean to offend.
I have some quotes. I have 3 quotes from him that like were more
Mm-hmm.
uh, the funnier quotes to me. One is, "I'm not a shrimp. I'm a king prawn." Okay, and he says "okay"
Okay.
after like, which makes me laugh. Another quote was, he his story. I don't know if you know his story. His story was that he was in Spain and he was a cook. He was like a chef, and he moved to become like in show business and become an actor. And so the quote is, "There were too many close calls in the kitchen. I was mistaken for an appetizer." Okay, and I'm like, fantastic. And then I think another one of my favorite lines for him, besides when Gonzo was trying to find like his people, and an egg flew down, and they were like, "We did all this for an egg," and he was like, "Hey, it might have chocolate in it." Like, the Muppet movie with Jason Segel,
Mm-hmm.
when Piggy was mad at Kermit and swapped him out for another dancer, and it was Pepe. And she's like, "Come on, let's practice the lift again." He's like, "Oh, okay, again with the lift, okay." Oh man,
Oh,
just
yeah. No,
gold.
it's good. I love
Everything he
it.
delivers to
Yeah,
me is everything I need
yeah.
all the time.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I don't have a thing wrong to say about him.
that's why I made my own list, because I was like, you know what, there was a list I saw that was like the top 25, but they're all covered at the end. You know,
Always count.
nobody's everybody's a basic bitch, and I
Always,
get it. Kermit's great, but
but is he the
I've never
best?
I've never met somebody whose favorite was Kermit. I understand he deserves the most respect, but he can't be someone's favorite. Is he someone's favorite? Comment down below if Kermit's your favorite,
Yeah,
but
comment down below.
but also tell the truth.
But tell us why he's your favorite, and it can't be Rainbow Connection. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this list.
It's a good song though.
Good
It's
song.
a damn good song.
Haley Williams has an amazing cover of it.
Really?
Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Let us know who your favorite Muppet is down below. If you're looking for more content, look everywhere. We got crazy episodes
Look
ahead
everywhere.
of us, and we're constantly doing things. Friendship Supreme, where you can find us everywhere. I've been Michael.
This is Leave, and
Waka waka waka.